And what? A couple of weeks later, she was dead?
A clip from my now infamous interview with Robert Blake last week. Things got particularly heated when the subject turned to the death of his wife, Bonny Lee Bakley. And joining me now is the man who brought a civil liability case against Blake and won $30 million for the Bakley family. Eric Dubin, welcome. When you saw the interview, what went through your mind?
A lot. It was unexpected. I felt bad for him. I think the torment killing Bonny has affected him greatly. He's a tortured man. I don't wish that pain on anybody. And it was hard to watch from a lawyer's point of view who devotes his life representing victims. To watch him play the angry victim was hard.
You have absolutely no doubt that he killed Bonny.
He did kill Bonny. And
why are you so certain? Because he got off the criminal case.
Yeah, I mean, but for celebrity justice, he'd be in prison, and that really makes me question why he's so angry. He's very lucky not to be in prison. But in a nutshell, the motive was the baby. They had this baby together. Robert Blake kidnapped the baby. He agreed to marry her for her to drop the kidnapping charges she had filed. He tried to plant cocaine on her, tried to send her to prison, eventually contacted about 4 hitmen to kill her using a private calling card. And the night of the murder, he ran out of time. Bonny wanted the baby back, and he had to kill her. I think in his mind, he feels justified in doing it.
I had his lawyer for a part of that period, Tom Mesereau, on, who was equally adamant that he was innocent, that he didn't kill her, that actually, Bonny had this string of men. He was her 10th husband, that she'd been on the run, she was a con artist, all this kind of stuff, which could easily lend itself to the theory, as he put to me on the show, Robert Blake, that it was one of these disgruntled people she had turned over in her past who read about her marrying a famous actor and came looking for her. How can you be so sure that theory isn't the true one?
Well, we can start factually, it's not accurate. He married her about 9 months before she moved to California, and when she moved to California, nobody knew, it wasn't reported anywhere, and she'd been about 3 or 4 days before he killed her. So nobody knew she was in California. Before that, she was in Arkansas, living in a house, raising her 3 kids. For the last 11 months, didn't move. So she was a sitting duck if anybody wanted her. I can assure everybody that LAPD put their top men in this case, their top people. It was the biggest investigation in LAPD history. They got the right guy, and celebrity justice is why he's free. And he should be lucky to be walking the streets right now.
What has happened to his daughter?
Well, in a nutshell, that was the motive. He kidnapped the baby and gave the baby to his adult daughter, where she remains today. When Bonny demanded the baby back, Robert Blake had a choice to make. He frantically tried to get these hitmen to do it for him, couldn't, eventually did it himself.
I understand when you were watching the interview, you were also in contact with Bonny's 2 children, her 2 daughters. What was their reaction to it?
Sad. Why are they still beating up my mom after 10 years? This was a real woman, a mother of 4. I'm not going to sit here and tell you she didn't do some crazy things with her business. She was a breadwinner in that family, but she loved those 4 kids. I could give you 30 million reasons why she didn't deserve to die. So the whole defense of she had it coming, someone else did it, all these people, I don't care how many times Bonny Lee Bakley was married, she did not deserve to get shot in the head, and Robert Blake was wrong to do it.
And what were the daughters... What was their reaction to him during the interview, the way he was behaving, his kind of sort of slightly crazy way of behaving? What did they make of that?
Well, I mean, I think like the rest of America, it started a little bit light. There were even some jokes. Why is he dressing like Woody from Toy Story? Even things like that. But when it came down to bashing the mom and these crazy theories and playing the victim, it became very difficult for them. And it was the most significant thing in those kids' lives. So to hear that come out of his mouth was very hard. And I understand the arguments made, and I could point out all the things they didn't have, but the only reason he is free is celebrity justice, and he has no reason to be so angry.
He wants to make a comeback in the movies. Do you think he should be allowed to?
I have no opinion on that whatsoever. I don't wish unhappiness on him or anybody else, and if Harvey Weinstein or Kevin Costner want to make a movie with him, I say go for it.
Eric Dubin, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Nice to see you. Coming up, only in America.